a little bit of walk-off magic yesterday. David, who opened the bottom of the ninth, and the pitch swung on and a shot deep to right field. That ball might go. Now with a 5-game winning streak, Rays skipper Joe Madden sends Jeff Neiman to face off against Justin Verlander and the red-hot Detroit Tigers. The Rays and the Tigers on Sun Sports. We welcome you to Tropicana Field as the Rays prepare to continue this 7-game homestand. After sweeping the Seattle Mariners, the Rays will play host to the Detroit Tigers, this game 1 of a 4-game series. Hi again, everyone, with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Statz. Good to have you with us. And Brian, good to have you back with us, by the way.
It's great to be back, Dwayne.
We'll be hearing from Todd Callis throughout the evening as the Rays and the Tigers square off. Well, the Rays have 37 games left to play. They're 7.5 games out of a wild card spot right now. And if you're going to get to the postseason, sometimes you have to face the best. Well, that's our pitching matchup tonight. And we have a dandy brought to you by Coventry Healthcare. Justin Verlander after his 19th win, and Jeff Neiman on the hill for the Rays, making his 17th start at 8-4. And B.A., let's start with Verlander. You don't get much tougher than this guy.
No, Justin Verlander certainly appears to be churning towards a Cy Young Award this year. Look what he's done in the course of the season. The wins, the strikeouts, the opponent's average, those are not only first in the American League, those are first in all of Major League Baseball. He does it with 4+ pitches. He's got the overpowering fastball, the very good deep curveball. We're going to see a couple of good curveballs tonight. Slider, changeup. But it's so impressive with Verlander. He is able to maintain that velocity, that plus velocity, deep into the ball game. And Jeff Neiman, how about this? What he's done his last 8 starts. It's a start that he had in Houston. He has been lights out. 6-0 record. The ERA 1.71. Opponent's average very good. Same thing. Commanding the fastball, both sides of the plate. His curveball's been very good. The split. And Jeff Neiman, very impressive even his last time out. Complete game win up in Boston, striking out 10. The second time he's done that to that good Red Sox lineup. So this should be a fun one to watch tonight.
And as we mentioned, the Rays coming off the sweep of Seattle. They did it with a walk-off. This Detroit ball club coming off a sweep against the Cleveland Indians. They did it on a walk-off as well. Both 8-7 winners of their games yesterday. Moving forward, by AT&T and by Coventry Healthcare of Florida, lighting the way to better health. Welcome inside a cool and comfortable and dry Tropicana Field. Plenty wet outside. Two hot teams here, the Rays and the Tigers. And for more about their dramatic wins yesterday, here is Todd Callis.
Dwayne, thanks. This place was formerly known as the Thunderdome. It's living up to its name tonight. A big storm in the area. In fact, we had that power surge about 10 minutes ago. Fortunately, it looks like we're going to be okay for an on-time start. The lights are coming back on now. It usually takes them 5 minutes to warm up, which will put us right at first pitch. You're right, though, Dwayne. Yesterday, a dramatic victory for both teams. In fact, that leads us to our Ottaway text poll question of the night. The Tigers did it on defense with this play by Austin Jackson, preserving Jose Valverde's perfect 37 for 37 in the save department as he nails Kosuke Fukudome to end the game for the Tigers in an 8-7 win. Another 8-7 win right here at the former Thunderdome, as you hear the thunder in the background. Johnny Damon with a walk-off home run. What is the more impressive game-ending play yesterday? TB1 for the Austin Jackson throw. TB2 for the Rays' Johnny Damon walk-off home run. Text your votes to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply. We are getting ready for baseball on a stormy Monday. 3 minutes and 10 seconds till the first pitch between the Tigers and the Rays. The umbrellas are out even indoors as the Rays will get ready for the first of four with a team from the Motor City next.
The Rays starting rotation has been as good as you could expect the starting rotation to be. And tonight, another great pitching matchup with Jeff Neiman, who's gone 6-0 in his last 7 starts with a 171. And Justin Verlander, the Major League's leading winner, with 18 victories on the hill for Detroit. Let's take a look at the Tiger lineup. Neiman will be facing. Austin Jackson leads it off. Hitting second is Brennan Bosch. The former Ray, Delman Young, hits third with Miguel Cabrera now the DH. Alex Avila will catch. Johnny Peralta at short hits sixth. Wilson Benameat at third base. Don Kelly's at first. And Ramon Santiago, the second baseman, will bat ninth.
Well, making the start tonight for the Tampa Bay Rays, right-hander Jeff Neiman will be his 17th start of the season. The one complete game, that was in his last time out. Complete game win over the Boston Red Sox. 8-4, 3.29 on the season. However, since coming off the disabled list at the end of June, 10 starts, he is 7-0 with a 2.15. Take a look at the Rays defense as it lines up behind him. Left to right in the outfield, Sam Fold, B.J. Upton and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Sean Rodriguez, Ben Zobrist and Casey Kochman, John Jaso behind the plate.
We're going to start this game in the middle of a thunderstorm, and I mean in the middle of a thunderstorm right overhead Tropicana Field. But it's dry here, and we're set to play baseball. Jackson in the batter's box, and Neiman's first pitch. And that's a strike call. Fastball in there around the knees. So we're underway. Pitch coming in to Jackson, and he fouls it back. And that's something that Neiman has done so well the past few starts.
The fastball to the right-handers, he has absolutely owned them, and that is the reason why. His willingness to throw in and his execution of it. You saw that swing there by Austin Jackson. Very awkward swing on a ball up and in.
The pitch is high. It's now a ball and 2 strikes. To the count here to Jackson. The pitch is lined into right. Joyce is there, and he makes the catch for the out. I'm telling you, I don't know what that sound is, but it's a little disconcerting that just ended. So that was a nasty storm. It just passed us and said hello along the way.
I was pushing away from the desk. I don't know about you, but I was going to be first out that tower.
Tell you, a line drive, and just as Joyce caught that ball, it hit its apex of sound and then departed.
Well, that shows you how locked in these players are. Jeff Neiman didn't miss a beat, so making pitches, getting outs.
Brennan Bosch. Pitch is down. 1 ball and no strikes. Bosch has been dividing time in right field with Baglio Ordonez. Interesting. The foul ball back. He's swinging the bat pretty well, and traditionally has hit better against lefties than righties. But dividing time out there, Ordonez seeing most of the lefties, and so Bosch has had to hit strictly against right-handed pitching.
You're right. Good numbers. Batting average 285. He's got the 16 home runs, showing some power.
Got the miss. It's 1-2.
Jeff Neiman continues to bring that A curveball. It's been such a good pitch for him during the course of the season, and especially the last couple of months.
Tigers 10 over 500, and with their sweep of Cleveland, they have a 4.5 game lead in the Central Division. Cut the miss, and Bosch is out of there on strikes. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, here's the fastball by Neiman. He wants his ball in. It ends up running. Good tailing action away. And gets away with the mislocation. Good velocity on that pitch. Good late life. Bosch can't catch up.
Now Delman Young coming to Detroit from Minnesota. There's a strike. He just played in 6 games with the Tigers since the deal, and is hitting .308 in a Detroit uniform. .269 overall. The pitch is down. It's 1-1.
That's one of those deals, too, that you wonder about, because typically you stay away from trading within the division, especially a team that you are battling each and every year for the division.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Minnesota more than willing to make that trade with the Detroit Tigers. A trade you don't often see.
And this one bounces away from Jaso, and Young checked in time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Upstairs with the fastball. 3-2. As you'll recall, Young would prefer to swing the bat as opposed to take a walk. We'll see what happens here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swings and bounces it down to third for Longoria. His throw across the diamond in time. 1, 2, 3 to go. The Tigers will go into the bottom of the first. No score. Six. 5 games over 500 since the All-Star break. 13 overall. Here's the lineup. Matt Joyce leading off against Verlander, followed by yesterday's hero Johnny Damon and Evan Longoria. Zobrist, Kochman, and Upton down the middle. Sam Bull starts in left, hitting in front of John Jaso, followed by Sean Rodriguez.
Well, making the start tonight for the Detroit Tigers, right-hander Justin Verlander. How about this? Already over 200 innings, 202 and 2/3. The 204 strikeouts lead all of Major League Baseball. Opponent's average leads all of Major League Baseball. However, his worst start of the season came against this Tampa Bay ball club, where he went 6 innings, gave up 9 hits and 6 runs back in May.
And Matt Joyce set to lead off against him. The Rays do have some guys in their lineup who've had a little success against Justin Verlander. You just don't get much better than he has been. First pitch, and Verlander throws Joyce a strike. Matt hitting .277 now for the year. That's pop foul. Back and out of play.
This is back to that May start, a hanging changeup. And Matt Joyce got all of it, just squeezed it out. Second, third row, Comerica Park. He's got good numbers off of Justin Verlander, 5 out of 9 lifetime.
And the pitch is down and in.
Well, that was that start that Verlander, that was back on May the 24th, I believe. Yeah, May the 24th. He went 6 innings, 9 hits, 6 earned runs. You look at over the course of that start, was the most hits that he's given up in a game this year.
And there's a shot high and deep to right center. That baby's gone. Home run for Matt Joyce. Joyce in the leadoff spot tonight turns the fastball around and hit it a ton into right center field to give the Rays a 1-0 lead. His 17th home run of the year. That's some heat right there, and it was hotter going out than it was coming in.
He tried to sneak the fastball by him middle in. Matt Joyce, a great job of pulling the hands through and getting the barrel, get the head of the bat out. Quick hands, and Verlander knew it.
Johnny Damon takes the pitch, and that's a strike. Damon with the walk-off home run in the game yesterday could not check there on a pitch that was down and in. 0-2 the count. Swing and a miss. He was out in front of the changeup. Avila down to Don Kelly to complete the strikeout.
Now let's take a look at the Tiger defense as it lines up behind Verlander. Left to right in the outfield, Delman Young, Austin Jackson, and Brendan Bosch. Across the infield, third to first, Wilson Betemit, Johnny Peralta, Ramon Santiago, and Don Kelly. Alex Avila behind the plate. And we were just talking about that last start that Verlander made against the Rays before Matt Joyce, so perfect timing, hit that home run. It was also the start that he gave up the most earned runs in any start, most hits, fewest strikeouts. So all around, just a bad start.
Evan Longoria takes the pitch off the plate. 1-0.
But boy, oh boy, since that start, he has kicked it into gear the end of May. He's had 16 since then, 14-2.
And he keeps the ball away, but off the plate again to Longoria. And it's 2-0. Evan hitting just .231, but he has 72 runs batted in and has hit safely in 14 of his last 16. He's had some key hits, run producing hits. Ahead of the count, 3-0. Ground ball, that's going to go through, swinging 3-0. He got it just to the left of Wilson Betemit, and Longoria is getting that 3-0 swing in high gear. 2 home runs and now a base hit off one.
Now you're of course going to give him the green light. You see all the fastballs down and away. This one, not a bad pitch, but when all the other ones that you've seen are that far off, Evan goes right down and gets it. Betemit not showing a whole lot of range there, and Evans able to slap it right by him.
That's one of the trade-offs the Tigers have made with Betemit down there. He's been swinging a very good bat. And Brandon Inge, who really struggled offensively and found himself in the minor leagues, has been summoned back from AAA and is with this ball club. He's the better defender. Betemit with the better bat. Now Ben Zobrist takes the pitch down. Runner at first with 1 out, a run home here in the bottom of the first inning. That's a haunting sound if we've ever heard one. 1 ball, no strikes. And the bunt is foul. The count is 1-1.
And what could that possibly be? Somebody shut the door.
It sounds supernatural.
I'll tell you what, the Rays are bringing out all the stops tonight in order to take down Verlander.
I haven't heard anything that bad since we had that Vuvuzela night against the Marlins on the road a couple of years ago.
I was cross-eyed for a week.
Here's Longoria back in. Just as we mentioned that, it stops. Maybe we figured it out. 1-1 the count to Ben Zobrist. There's a ground ball back to the mound. Verlander takes it back to second, and Peralta one over to first. They get the double play. 1-6-3 on the double play, but the Rays get a run on the blast off the bat of Matt Joyce. At the end of an inning, it's 1-0 Tampa Bay. I mean, that's the only explanation. It's a ghost. It sounds exactly like a ghost.
Yeah, and he's not happy.
No.
Or she. It's ticked.
Well, here's Miguel Cabrera. The pitch is down. 1 ball and no strikes. Cabrera, the DH, will be followed by Avila, the catcher, and then the shortstop Peralta against Jeff Neiman. There's a strike. 1-1. Miguel Cabrera, 5th in the league in hitting. I mean, across the board, he's in among the league leaders in offense. 2nd in slugging. He's 2nd in on-base percentage. Two balls and a strike to count.
He's one of those hitters, as you go into a start, you realize you're going to have to face him 3 or 4 times during the course of a ball game. You've got to find a different way to get him out. You've got to continually mix your patterns. If you get into one set pattern, he will wear you out.
And a little base hit up the middle. That pitch coming in on him, but he's strong enough to get it through. Most hitters aren't going to react that way to that pitch.
No, that ball got in on Miguel Cabrera, but he's big, he's strong, and still does not hit this ball well at all. I mean, most guys, this thing would barely get over the mound. He's able to go right back up the middle, that good approach that he has, and just drop it out in there and let it roll into center field. I mean, that's what makes him so dangerous. You make a good pitch, he gets a base hit. You make a bad pitch, and it's going to be in the gap over the fence.
Alex Avila, who's having a great month. I think he's up in the 5th spot. Victor Martinez was a late scratch. But you know, Martinez has feasted on Rays pitching throughout his career. And he was a late scratch with a lower back issue. And Avila, after driving in only 1 run in July, is red hot in August. .429.
He did some damage to the Rays in that series in May. They know perfectly well who this guy is.
There's a high fly ball to the opposite field. Ball will go to the wall, and that is gone. Avila hits one out of here to the opposite field. We've seen that before that opposite field power Avila has, and that ball carried out of here to make it 2-1.
You know, it almost looked like there was the wind blowing out to left field. I mean, this was a ball away, but look at the lift. That's where he creates the lift and gets good backspin. We saw him do this to the Rays at Comerica Park. He's got opposite field power, shows it once again, and Tigers take the lead.
He has hit 8th most of the year. Pitch is a strike. But Jim Leland originally had him 6th in the lineup tonight, and when Martinez was scratched, he moved up to 5th. And hit that ball out of here into the seats and left for his 15th home run. Ground ball headed towards short, grabbed by Rodriguez. High throw to first off the railing in front of the Rays dugout, and Peralta is aboard.
Well, much like a pitcher, when they get rotational, the ball tends to stay up and sail on him a little bit. That's what happened to Sean Rodriguez. He's always very good at driving the ball downhill on his throws, but here, rotating out of it, that ball just takes off on him and sails. That's all that was. He could not get on top of that ball, kind of throwing it, spinning, going away.
There you Peralta gets a base hit out of that. He's at first with nobody out. Here's Wilson Betemit. The home run hit by Avila was the 12th given up by Jeff Neiman this year. 10 have been to left-handed hitters. Ground ball, foul up the right side, strike one. Avila has pretty much just caught every day, and has assumed just naturally as a catcher might a leadership role on this Detroit ball club. He's developed into a very valuable member of their team. Ground ball headed to short. Rodriguez up to Zobrist, one over to first, not in time. Peralta out at second base, and Betemit meet the play at first.
Well, the feed from Sean Rodriguez was a little bit too far to Ben Zobrist's right. He had to reach back for it, and that took the timing of the play off. Instead of getting this feed out in front, watch Ben have to reach back for this ball right there. Now he's got to come all the way back around, make the throw. Can't get enough on it. Just that little bit. That's why you see those guys out there working on those feeds, turning ground balls or turning double plays ground balls every single day, because that feed, you want it to be on the glove side to make it a quicker transition on the throw to first.
Now here's Don Kelly, and the first pitch is a ball. Kelly in at first. Originally Cabrera was going to play first, but with the shuffle in the lineup, Cabrera went into the DH role, and Kelly takes over at first base. He's hitting .235 with 3 home runs. Runner takes off. The pitch deflected off Neiman's glove. Charged by Zobrist, and the throw to first going to be in time. Betemit moves up. That's a 1-4-3. Don Kelly is out of there with the ball just getting a piece of Neiman's glove.
Well, sending the runner, something the Tigers don't do a lot of, is running, but Jeff Neiman able to get a piece of that, and Ben Zobrist alertly comes in, makes a nice play.
There's their number 9 hitter, Ramon Santiago, the second baseman. Pitch inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, the Tigers come into this game, and that very well could have been a hit and run, but they only have 39 stolen bases as a team, fewest in Major League Baseball, and really outside of Austin Jackson, who has 16. That's it. I mean, then you've got Brennan Bosch that has 5, and then a lot of ones.
2 balls, no strikes. Pitch inside. 3-0. Well, the Rays and the Tigers are playing here. Seattle's in Cleveland. A long foul the other way. He was swinging 3-0 and pulled it foul. So it's a long strike, 3-1. And Ichiro hit a home run in that game for Seattle to give them a 1-0 lead. The game's in the second inning at Cleveland. We're at the top of the second inning here. It's a 2-1 Detroit lead. And there's a shot back into center field. Upton on the run is there now and makes the catch to retire the side. 2 runs on the home run by Avila. 2-1 Detroit.
Well, in tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
Well, we've already seen 2 home runs in this game, one by the Rays, Matt Joyce, and the 2-run home run by Alex Avila. So we go to the Rays half of the second. Casey Kochman leads it off against Justin Verlander. And the first pitch is inside. 1-0. It'll be Kochman, followed by B.J. Upton, and then Sam Fuld. Kochman, the 3rd leading hitter in the American League to start play tonight. And the strike, and the count is 1-1. Casey hitting .300 lifetime against Verlander, and after that home run, Joyce is now 6 of 10 against him with 2 home runs. And Upton, who's next, has been very good against Verlander. Swing and a miss. The count goes to 1-2 on the Toyota inside look. See right there, B.J. Upton 8 of 15 against Verlander, and Damon 6 out of 20. We mentioned Kochman and Joyce already.
Very many players are putting those kind of numbers up against Verlander.
It's high. 2-2.
He's so impressive to watch because he's got the good fastball. He's able to maintain his velocity and really can close a ball game out. I mean, he smells the finish line. He dials it up a notch.
Breaking ball, and it's hit on the ground to second. Santiago takes care of that. 1 away.
Well, tonight's game is available in Espanol via secondary audio programming, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare of Florida. It would also be known as SAP.
We weren't quite sure what that meant while you were away. And Todd Callis lamenting the fact when he had to handle that announcement that he wasn't quite sure what it meant. He was looking for your return so we could be fully informed. We feel a lot better now.
Todd's just another one of the many that just tune me out.
I find that hard to believe.
Trust me. It's 39 years of living with it.
Swing and a foul ball, and that gets Avila. Avila goes down. That foul ball off Upton's bat. And the one thing that you're concerned about is if that's a foul ball up around the throat. He appears to be okay in that regard. We'll take another look at this.
Snuck right under that mask and got him right in the side of the neck, collarbone area.
Well, here's the situation with the Tigers and Avila. He really has been it. Now, Brandon Inge is back with the club, and he would be the natural second line catcher here. If Avila would have to, for some reason, leave, he's up on his feet now. He's been so hot for this Detroit ball club. That would be a considerable loss, but he's going to stay in there. And in fact, before Inge came back, Don Kelly, who's at first base tonight, would have been their backup catcher. There's Inge, and he spent most of his time the last few years at third base. I think it's been 2008 since he has caught. But he would be the backup. Up and in to Upton. The count goes to 1-1.
No, that was a definite purpose pitch there by Verlander. Tried to take ownership of the plate early. This ball up and in. You don't like it up around the head. You understand you've got to pitch in. But hitters do not appreciate. You see that ball's neck high. Definitely sending a message there.
The swing and a foul ball. That fastball a little extra at 97. And Upton doing everything he could to hang in there and take a good rip at it.
Yeah, right. You got a good battle going on right here. That pitch that kind of dusted BJ a little bit. He's not real happy. And Verlander, you could see coming back with that fastball, and then miles per hour jumped up by 3.
1-2 now. The pitch down and away. 2-2. Well, that has a lot to do with Upton being 8 out of 15 against him, with a couple of walks and taking a good swing. And Verlander is very well aware of that. So that's part of the game. 2-2. And Upton is out on strikes.
Now that's
the late wrinkle.
Yeah, that's the slider from Justin Verlander, and that's what makes it so difficult to hit against this guy. Is he's got the 4+ pitches, and he can close you out with all 4. He can blow the fastball by you. We've already seen a strikeout on a changeup. He can get you on the slider, and don't even get him started on that curveball, because he'll throw that 12-6 curveball and get you. So very difficult, because you're never quite sure how he's going to try and finish you.
There's Sam Fold. And the pitch is a strike. Well, that sequence of pitches to Upton, Verlander's game plan, pitch by pitch.
Absolutely. Get him looking. Get that pitch, knock him off the plate, get him out of the way.
There goes the bat, the swing and a miss by Fold, and the count is 0-2.
Yeah, he's no Kelly Shopping. No distance on that toss.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice to be that good.
And consistent.
Yep. It is a game of repetition. Shopping has landed a few bats in the stands. There's a strike call. Fold out of there. There's that breaking pitch, that curveball. At the end of 2-1 Detroit.
share the most important meal of the day with Longo when you pick up this Evan Longoria cereal bowl and spoon on Sunday, September the 4th, when the Rays host the Orioles. First 10,000 kids 14 and under get one, so pick up your tickets at raysbaseball.com. I will be a 14 and under kid that day.
It's good to be able to move in and out of that state. This is Austin Jackson. Jackson, Bosch, and Young. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackson line to right his first time. This one is foul back. Jackson's line drive caused the crescendo of the ghost that was with us earlier. Just after Joyce made the catch, things got quiet for a couple of minutes, and it's been quiet since. That the spirit or presence was with us here for an inning and a half.
I have zero recollection of that at bat. I'll be honest with you. I had no idea what he did his first time. I had 1 foot out the door.
A ball, 2 strikes. Well, that weather outside was so bad. Pitch too high. Fastball 2-2. Very well could have been a storm, but then it stuck around for about an inning and a half just to make its presence known, and since then has departed. 2-2. High fly ball. Not overly deep to right. And Joyce makes the catch. 1 away. Brilliant Bosch will be the hitter. Rays have not beaten the Tigers this year. They dropped 2 up in Detroit, then had the rain out, and then had to go back and use an off day to make up that 3rd and final game of the series. They're 0-3 against the Tigers. First pitch is in there, a strike curveball to start Bosch.
Yeah, we've got a couple of good curveballs going tonight. That last curveball that Verlander struck Fold out on, goodness.
It's inside. 1-1. Verlander, 2 strikeouts in the second. He has 3 through the first 2. He's used a changeup, a slider, and a curveball to get those 3 strikeouts. And there's a guy who we saw could throw 97 on that 1 pitch to Upton, and his strikeouts come on the 3 other pitches. Demons 1-1. Didn't miss by much. 2-1. And Rapuano is working the plate tonight. Angel Campos at first. Alfonso Marquez second. And Hickok's down at third. The ground ball fair. Back at first. Kochman has it. Neiman covers. Bosch is the second out in the third. 2 up and 2 down. Good Delman Young to the plate. Neiman got Young on the ground ball to third. On a 3-2 count. Longoria threw him out. Down. Tigers have been playing good baseball. They're getting consistently good pitching, and they are scoring runs. It's a liner, going to be a fair ball. Hits off the sidewall. Bull's going to play the carom. He'll get the throw back in there quickly. Might get him. The ball loose at second as Young gets in there safely. And Zobrist trying to get a tag on him and could not come up with the ball cleanly. And that's a 2-base hit for Delman Young.
Well, Delman Young showing some quick hands here, getting to that fastball down and in and rifling it down into the corner. But as we've seen so often with Sam Fuld, the quick release, the accurate arm in plenty of time. And just Ben Zobrist not able to come up with it. Ball beats Delman Young by plenty, but you see right off the thumb.
And here's Miguel Cabrera, who sends one the opposite way into deep right. Joyce back is there, and he makes the catch, a step from the wall to retire the side. Bottom of the third coming, 2-1 Detroit.
Of the ghost mystery, it's 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Before we talk about that haunting sound you hear, quick story. When the Marlins were in town, you know, a lot of teams have a problem, or some guys feel like that Vinoy is haunted a little bit. Leo Nunez was so spooked by the Vinoy that he did not stay at the hotel. He asked Joel Peralta if he could borrow his couch and stay with him for the trip in town. But anyhow, guys, the lightning that you heard around the stadium right around game time struck Tropicana Field directly. It impacted a set of speakers that you just saw on the first base side, and thus the haunting noises for the first inning and a half. Back to you.
That's the best report he's given all year. That's a strike call to John Jaso. I mean, what a throw, huh?
I mean,
yeah, it's good with the program.
Just a true actor. He's really getting into it.
Yeah. Well, he gives it his all. Swing and a miss by Jaso. That's the changeup, and the count is 2 strikes.
No, that's what we talk about over and over again. You have to sell it. And that was a great sell job.
It was. Yeah. I would expect nothing less than that from Todd Callis. This one is down 1-2. Todd feeling a little shortchanged because the storm knocked him off the air in the pregame show. That was, you know, his segment.
Yeah.
And then he didn't get to really close it out, so he just didn't feel complete tonight.
I didn't either. I felt like I got left hanging. That was the first time that Todd and I were going to get to banter.
You can see the frustration right there.
I mean, again, with the selling.
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
Oh, 2 strikes the count to John Jaso. Ground ball back to the hill, and Verlander makes the toss over to Kelly. It's 1 away. Speaking of sell it, get after it.
Well, place your reservations for 2012 season tickets. Establish your seniority today and be in line for priority upgrades and exclusive benefits. Call 888-FAN-RAISE or visit RaisBaseball.com right now.
And I'll tell you, you might want to be a big part of that next year. This year, the Rays making a run for the postseason. If they had 2 postseason wild card spots this year, they would be leading in that race. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count to Sean Rodriguez. You just have to feel that next year they will, which is going to make it even more interesting. And it's something that would be fun to be a part of.
And you have to believe that this team is going to do nothing but get better.
Yep. Fly ball short center. Jackson is there and makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down.
Wrong part of the field to hit it to. Austin Jackson in center field can cover ground, go back on the ball. The gaps coming in.
You know, he could be up for a Gold Glove this year.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
You've seen Corey Hunter's had it, you know, and probably not this year. Ichiro has been in the Gold Glove business, maybe not this year. And Jackson, while playing center field in Detroit, big center field over there. And he's been very good. He's got to get some serious consideration, you would think.
His highlight reel, really, you can't imagine anybody better during the course of the season. No question about it. I mean, goes and gets it, athletic, going over the wall.
1-0 the count to Matt Joyce. Speaking of going over the wall, he did in the first. Hit a 1-2 fastball into the seats for his 17th home run. Pitch away from him, off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. It's a 2-1 ball game right now. 3-1.
You know, some of these pitches that Matt Joyce is it's almost like he really sees the ball well out of Verlander's hand. Obviously, that would make sense with being 6 out of 10, but that changeup right there, not even a flinch on Matt Joyce's part.
Swing and a miss. Well, how about that one?
How about the
3-1 changeup?
The 3-1 he goes right after. He took the 2-1, almost the same pitch. He took it, didn't even give it a second look, and then swung over that by about a foot.
Well, you know, that's such a hitter's count. Hitters get amped up for that 3-1 pitch. There's a pitch foul back, and that's what happens. You know, he chased that pitch. It's interesting. Verlander, opponents hitting only 187 against him, but 3-1, 417. So he comes with that changeup and runs the count full with it. And ball 4, so he gives up the walk.
And if you have numbers like that against you, then you've got to figure that he's 3-1 fastball heavy. In fact, he mixes all his pitches well, but fastball early, like first pitch, very high percentage. So you figure if he's willing to do that, then 3-1, he's going to give you that good fastball. But that's going to be the only way that you're going to have that kind of a batting average against. Maybe with that swing there, Matt Joyce was a predetermined swing. If it's spinning straight, I'm swinging.
Yeah, and that's what it looked like. You know, 3-1, and he's ready to try to pop another one. Johnny Damon. And back in at first goes Joyce. Damon struck out on a changeup in the first inning. Takes a pitch up and away. Verlander, 28 years old, out of Old Dominion. He won 19 games 2 years ago. In 09, he was 19-9. He's 18-5 right now. Again, the first. Joyce back. He won 18 last year. It was 18-9.
Well, his last 6 seasons, he's won 17 or more games 5 times. Already surpassed that this year, like you said.
Just foul back. 1-1.
Look at the overall numbers. Already up over 200 innings. You know, came into this start 202 2/3 and had given up 136 hits. Just been dominant all around.
A couple of no-hitters in there just for good measure. And that's a strike on the inside edge at 96. leads the American League in wins. Leads the major leagues in wins, really, with 18. Tops in innings and strikeouts. The opponent's hitting only 187. That's a major league best. Runner goes and stops, and a swing and a miss. So the curveball strikes out Damon. We're through 3, 2-1 Detroit. Fourth inning we go. The Tigers lead the Rays 2-1. Our AT&T trivia question following the walk-off by Johnny Damon yesterday. How many Rays have had at least 2 walk-off home runs in a single season? Alex Avila, he had a 2-run home run his first time up to give Detroit a 2-1 edge. Pitch is to strike a curveball to start him. That opposite field home run.
We've seen him do it against the Rays before at Comerica Park. He's done it actually 4 times this year. That opposite field power stays behind the ball well.
A strike, a couple of curveballs this time to start him. He's hit 3 home runs off Rays pitching this year. And strike 3 called, a fastball in. 2 curveballs and then that fastball well located at 94.
Well, it seems like every game we talk about a sequence or 2 or sometimes 3 that Jeff Niemann puts together to really eat up a hitter. How about that at bat? The guy just homered off you. You go curveball strike 1, curveball strike 2, fastball strike 3, never got the bat off his shoulder. Just absolutely 3 perfectly executed pitches.
Here's Peralta taking a pitch inside. A ball and no strikes. Peralta had a base hit his first time up. That gives him 5 out of 8 against Niemann. Niemann comes in to him and he misses a fastball. 1-1. Is it well here? Peralta, good lifetime numbers here and overall against the Rays. It was Victor Martinez who was a late scratch from the Detroit lineup. As good as you get off Rays pitching, and here at the Trop. 1-2 now. The count to Peralta with a fastball.
Well, Johnny Peralta can sometimes get very long in the swing, and so Jeff Niemann here pops 3 straight fastballs on the inner half.
One ball foul.
That's something that we see Jeff Neiman do a whole lot more to right-handed hitters than he does to lefties, is double and, in this case, triple up on the fastball in. So many times to the lefties, it's just one and done. I think that's why left-handers have a lot more success off Jeff Neiman's fastball than do the righties.
Fouls it out of play the other way and holds the count at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Neiman and ahead of Avila, struck him out. He gets ahead of Peralta and strikes him out on that 1-2 pitch. Well, that pitch disappeared on Peralta. Back-to-back strikeouts here.
Well, the split finger from Jeff Neiman, he takes that ball right on top of the plate. That's what's tough to read on that pitch. He throws it right down the middle, lets the bottom drop out.
Southern Ford Dealers leaderboard at ERA since the 1st of July. Santana tops, but Neiman just behind him, and Verlander was 5th on that list. 1-0 the count to Wilson Benamme.
And I think that Justin Masterson should ask for a redo on that headshot.
We should see it again. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1.
Well, there we go. I don't know if anybody wants that. That you don't want that on your baseball card, I promise you. Obviously, they threw that hat on him about 3 seconds before that picture was taken.
It's a brand new hat.
His big brother's.
A strike and the count is 1-2. One that when Jim Thome was with the Indians, he never used, and they had it right there in the clubhouse. Here, put this on. A ball, 2 strikes. Sky back to straightaway center field. Up and back on the track. He got turned around and still manages to make the catch. Benamme hit it all the way to the wall, and BJ almost misplayed it and saved the day. Ball off the bat of Wilson Benamme. This is really the good, bad, and all's well that ends well, because he misplays the ball but still has the ability to recover.
Yeah, we've talked about it. You lose a ball in this groove, it's tough to pick it back up, and BJ gets all turned around, picks it up at the last minute, and then is able to wall scrape and make a nice catch. I'll tell you, I didn't think he had a chance at that. You could really follow that ball off the bat, see where he was headed. It's like, BJ, you're going to want to go 8 to 10 feet to your right. He figured it out at the last minute.
Yeah, that's kind of like an instrument's landing right there in heavy fog. And somehow he managed to recover and make the catch that turned out to be not an easy thing to do. He's due to hit fourth in this inning. If anybody gets on, it'll be Longoria, Zobrist, and Kochman, and then Upton would be up there. First pitch to Evan is a strike called. Rays have a run, 2 hits. Detroit 2 runs, 4 hits. One ball, 1 strike. Longoria got ahead 3-0 first time and singled. Pitch a little bit off the plate. 2-1. Half of Verlander's wins have come on the road. He's 9-2 on the road. Foul ball, 2-2. They haven't had a pitcher win 10 games on the road since Bill Gullickson, the right-hander, went 10-5 in 1991.
Yeah, just remarkably consistent. 9-3 at home, 9-2 on the road. ERA's similar. He just takes the ball, goes out, and dominates. Not affected by where he's pitching. How about the fact that he's given up 3 earned runs or less in 24 of the 27 starts? Think about giving your team a chance to win.
Pitch is popped in the short center. Jackson coming in, and he's there crisscrossing by Santiago, and Longoria is the first out. Let's get the answer to our AT&T trivia question. How many Rays have had at least 2 walk-off home runs in a single season? Well, Johnny Damon is one of them. When he hit the one yesterday, his second. And Carl Crawford did that in 2003. In fact, I think Crawford hit one opening day off Chad Fox of the Red Sox for one of those walk-offs that year. One on July the 4th, too. Ben Zobrist fouling it back. That's a strike.
Does your memory have any bounds? I mean, does it?
I don't remember who he hit it off July 4th.
Yeah, but you got it right. I think my favorite Rays walk-off was the Johnny Gomes off the bat and then exhort the rest of his teammates. You guys can go ahead and come out of the dugout now because it's gone.
This high foul ball back. It's going to be out of play. 2 strikes the count.
I mean, if that's not Johnny Gomes in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
Yep.
He hits it, heads to first, looks into the dugout, and tells everybody they can go ahead and come out and celebrate before he's even hit first base.
Not the first time he's led a celebration of sorts. 2 strikes the count. This one down and in. A ball and 2 strikes. There's something to be said for that approach. Hey, it's a gift. I'm gonna take it and enjoy it.
He was an enjoyable guy to spend time around, I'll tell you that.
Count is still 1-2. The pitch fouled by Zobrist. I'm being told that the other, I didn't remember this one. He hit it off Billy Koch when he was pitching for the White Sox.
That was the 4th of July?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, 4th of July. This one is down. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the thing you have to remember. That was 2003. There weren't a lot of those. Okay, if you know what I mean. There have been a few more lately. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Ooh, pretty close, and the count is full. And we're thankful and grateful that there have been a few more over the last few years. It's really been fun, and I tell you, this has been an amazing year for this club to try to regroup the way it has and be where it is right now. There's ball 4. 37 games left, and they're giving it a go.
Well, we talked about, believing that the Rays had one last run in them to get back into it, and this may be it. I mean, 10 out of the last 12, 5 in a row. They're playing well at home now. Just going to have to continue to win.
Well, here's Casey Kochman. This pitch is a strike to Casey. Well, the Rays still feel they have a run at the wild card or the division right now. That's a half game difference, 7.5 and 8. Certainly, if there were 2 wild cards in the chase, things would be much more favorable for the Rays. A 1-strike count, and this one is down. And of course, Stu Sternberg said, whatever they do, it's going to be better for the Rays. And you can see right now they'd have a 1.5-game lead on the Angels, 5 up on the Blue Jays, with the Indians and the White Sox also in the running,
and 3 games up in the loss column. And that's what you want to look at this time of year. So really, that 1.5-game lead could really be stretched out to 3, right? Just because of you can't make up a loss, and they'd be 3 up in the loss column.
Zobrist back in. We've heard a lot about realignment and all that, but if they do something as simple as add another spot to the wild card race, it would really benefit the Rays, is the feeling, and certainly would this year. Swing and a miss. The runner's on the move, and the throw is there waiting. Zobrist caught stealing. 6th time he's been thrown out.
Well, we talked about the Tigers. They don't run very much. And they also lead Major League Baseball in caught stealings, or actually the American League. 42. This is now 43. Look at that throw. Can you put it any better?
It's 1-2 to Kochman. The pitch is fouled back. Well, those are the kinds of things that against a guy like Verlander, you've got to roll the dice once in a while, try to force the issue and somehow find you a way to get into scoring position.
Yeah, if you think you're going to sit back and put together innings of 2, 3, 4 hits to put some runs, Verlander, forget it.
Kochman fouls it, still 1-2.
And that's the one area of Verlander's game where he's really improved is the running game. This year was 9 out of 12 with a couple of pickoffs, now 9 out of 13, but he gave up 24 stolen bases last year, 24 out of 31, so he's done a better job controlling that game. Avila's helped.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about that, the year before, he was very good. There were 16 runners caught stealing and only 9 steals. In 09, that's the year he was 19-9. And then a lot of steals, as you point out, a year ago. 2-2 the count here to Kochman. Bites down and in, a curve. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, this was a pretty good pitch here by Verlander, sweeping across the plate.
That looks like a pretty good pitch, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right on the corner.
3-2. It's foul back. The 3-2 fastball, and that's another one that he pumped up and got 97 on that one. We've seen that one to Kochman and one during the Upton at bat last time.
Well, that's what he does. He'll pitch right around that 93, 94, 95 and reach back and grab that 97, 98 every now and then. He'll even do it in the 8th and 9th inning. He's trying to close out a game.
3-2 again. Lined into left field. Young will go back and there to make the catch. No runs, a walk, a caught stealing. We are through 4, 2-1 Detroit. For the Keep Your Edge Spotlight, brought to you by Just for Men Mustache and Beard. I don't know how you can keep your edge better than Joe Madden did in the post-game press conference yesterday, channeling the Bucks post-game conferences there with the aid of Davey Martinez, his trusty bench coach there. Just as Joe Madden gives the Rays the edge, you can keep your edge with Just for Men Mustache and Beard. He's also trying to give the Bucks the edge right there.
How about him calling the play in with the playbook? Third down sheet over the mouth. Yeah. That was great.
Apparently he's absent now, looking for his helmet somewhere. Ground ball up the middle, and right there is Rodriguez. He throws a strike to first, and Don Kelly is out number 1.
Boy, that ball was destined for center field. A hard hit ball right over the mound, but Sean Rodriguez gets there, makes the play. Keep that leading hitter off base.
He's back, no helmet.
What do you call that hair?
Here's Santiago. What do you say?
Oh, he's got a helmet on. May not be the football type.
The pitch drops in there, curveball. 0-2. Santiago, the second baseman, hitting 9th. And ooh, that's pretty close right there. An 0-2 fastball inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball by the mound. Zobrist at second. 2 up, 2 down. The bases will be empty for the top of the order, Austin Jackson. Boston and Texas underway. They're in the bottom of the first in Arlington. Eric Bedard against C.J. Wilson. Inside, the pitch to Jackson. Ground ball to third. Stays fair. Took a weird hop toward the line, but Longoria grabs it and throws out Jackson. Bottom of the fifth coming. 2-1 Detroit. Pretty much as advertised. Jeff Neiman and Justin Verlander going at it. The runs coming on the long ball. One off the bat. Matt Joyce in the first inning. And then Alex Avila hit a 2-run homer in the second to the opposite field. And that takes care of all the scoring in this game. Verlander, given the Rays 2 hits both in the first, has 4 strikeouts, a couple of walks. In fact, the Rays sent just 3 men to the plate in the 4th inning, but forced him to 21 pitches. You don't mind to see that. Here's B.J. Upton. Upton takes a pitch in. No strikes. He took a fastball up and in his first time, and then Verlander struck him out on a slider in that at bat. Strike.
Same idea right there. The fastball in off the plate, followed up with the slider. I mean, that's just textbook pitching. Up and in, and then sweep something low and away.
Stop, another slider, and Peralta throws him out, so he does it again.
You see what those fastballs in have done. Well, we'll take a look at it in a minute. We'll celebrate that special occasion by purchasing a game-used lineup card, a base, baseball, or any other autograph items from your favorite Rays players. These one-of-a-kind items can be purchased at RaysBaseball.com/gameday or at the team store at Tropicana Field.
Sam Fuld. Pitch outside. 1-0.
You see what the fastball in has done to B.J. Upton. Look at the swing here. See, standing straight up, reaching for that ball, aware of that fastball in, and then you start to get swings like that. That's exactly why Verlander is pitching him the way that he is.
This one is down well, and that's what happens when you pitch in.
That's it.
The value of pitching in. The best B.J. could do right there, or any hitter in that set of circumstances, would be maybe that ground ball to short, because all of your power is spent.
Instead of seeing a guy go out and take that pitch and lean out over the plate and shoot that ball into right field because he has to respect the ball in because it's been established, you see the hitter stand straight up and start reaching. Well, when you get a hitter to start reaching, like you said, power gone, dribbler, easy little pop-up is coming.
Well, that went right by Fuld at 96. You just can't be quick enough. Although Joyce he hit that ball. It was 95. He turned it around in a home run, but that last pitch to Bull, very difficult to get around on. He wanted 98. Count.
Especially too, Matt Joyce hits his first hitter of the game, home run. All of a sudden now you've seen Verlander start to mix his pitches, the curveballs, the slider, the changeup. Now hitters aren't so sure, so that ball jumps on you.
And Bull is out on strikes. He gave him heat down, he gave him heat up, just all over the place.
And what you're seeing from Verlander is what we talked about. He starts to smell, making this game official in the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. And what's he been doing? He's been starting to ramp up the velocity. Seen a lot more consistent 97 miles an hour.
Yeah, you've got to be quick, and that pitch running up and away from Bull. John Jaso. That's a strike. So he hit 98 in that sequence to Bull there, and then struck him out. One and one. Both Rays hits came in the 1st, in the bottom of the 5th. Two balls and a strike.
The new facial hair here that Jaso's featuring. I mean, tell me that somewhere in his name should be Tecumseh.
Yes. That could work.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the Civil War look.
Yeah, there's a reenactment plan somewhere. That catches the corner, and it's 2-2. Calvin, Coolidge, Tecumseh, McClish. Remember Cal McClish, the right-handed pitcher? He had Calvin Coolidge and Tecumseh Sherman, McClish, all of those in that name.
If he didn't have a goofy nickname, no, I'm not aware.
Full count now, 3-2. The count to Tecumseh Jason. It's a foul ball down the left side. That's going to be out of the reach of Young. Two outs with the base is empty. But you have dated that look. There's no question about that. That's a Civil War era.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not easy to pull off.
It's better to shave it.
The reverse goatee.
And it's a ball outside. Jaso draws the walk. Now Sean Rodriguez will bat. The Rays have a base runner here with 2 gone.
Yeah, Verlander not happy. Doesn't walk many guys. He's had a few tonight. And also, you get the 9-hole hitter up here, Sean Rodriguez. So, once Jaso gets thrown out on the base paths, you're going to have the top of the order coming back up in the 6th inning. This is where a pitcher really likes to end that inning by getting the 8-hole hitter so that he's got the 9-hole leading off the next inning. You can get that first quick out. At least that's what you're thinking in your mind.
Here's Sean Rodriguez. Cut the miss. Well, he's walked 3 in the last 3 innings, 3 on the night. He walked as many as 4 hitters twice this year in a game. He threw Rodriguez a slider to start him. Over to first, and backhand goes Jaso.
How about that? Yeah, that's 4 walks in 2 other games. That's 8. The 3 tonight, that's 11. He came into this game with only 42 on the year.
And a bunt attempt by Rodriguez. That's fouled. Another slider. 2 strikes. And Sean had a pretty good idea that he might see another slider after that first one. So he tried to bunt and fouled it. That's
the way you see so many teams attack Sean Rodriguez, is with that the breaking ball down and away, and Verlander has a good one. It's hard, late.
A foul back. Still 2 strikes, and you can see Rodriguez trying to stay in there, and that's a tough thing to do.
Yes, it is, because Sean Rodriguez loves to get that front hip going. Sometimes he pulls it out of there a little bit too quick, but he's also smart enough to realize that Verlander wants to finish him with that pitch. So he's doing everything he can to keep that front side buried.
Upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, if you're hitting against him, you get a breaking ball like that stays up, you go, wow, it's a reprieve.
Yeah, yeah. Need to relax for a minute.
1 and 2, and a foul ball. That pitch in on him with a fair amount of velocity.
4 straight sliders. Away, away, away. Figuring Rodriguez is going to be leaning out there trying to get to it. He pumps that fastball in, and he was right, but Rodriguez spoiled it.
One-two pitch again, and it's popped up. Foul. That's going to carry out a play. Okay, Rodriguez is giving him a battle, and now Avila's going to go out and talk to Verlander here. I mean, against a guy like this, and I mean, it's a 6th pitch at bat with some tough pitches to stay in there on. It's 2-2. You know, this has got to be as close. I remember the great shortstop Dick Groat, who played for the Pirates and the Cardinals, said pitching or hitting against Sandy Koufax was like going to the dentist. And this at bat reminds me of that. This is not an easy thing to do for Sean Rodriguez, and he's finally out. A little foul tip on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball out on strikes. Through 5, 2-1 Detroit.
The sixth inning, that is Delman Young, the former Ray, #1 pick. And now we're joined by his older brother, Dimitri Young. We're just talking, you were actually at Tampa Bay Ray for about an hour, right? Tampa Bay Devil Ray for an expansion draft?
Wasn't an hour? I thought it was 30 minutes.
Dimitri hanging out with his kids, watching a little baseball tonight. And tell us what's been going on since you retired. How's the transition been?
Well, it was great. I was actually coaching in the independent league, Frontier League, and didn't coach this year. Wound up getting a good doctor, lost 45 pounds, got the diabetes under control, and, well, I'm 37. Hey, there's a little more left in the tank, so I'm going to Venezuela to resume my playing career.
You're coming back?
Yes, I am.
So the retirement's over as of when?
It was over as of when I went off in Cooperstown, went 3 for 4, won everything, and all the players was talking about me playing regular ball instead of these charity events.
Wow, that's pretty good, guys. Dimitri Young making a comeback now. Delman's on deck here. What are your thoughts about him playing with your former crew here with the Tigers?
You know what? He might be the missing piece. They have a lot of confidence in him. They're batting him third, playing left field every day. He wasn't getting that in Minnesota, but Minnesota did give him the opportunity to get to this position to be on a playoff contending team now.
As we see a called third strike, Brennan Bosch strikes out. Jeff Neiman picking up his 4th strikeout of the night. So here he is in Detroit. Kind of unusual to go from a division to the same division with the Tigers and the Twins.
You know, I was wondering about that myself, but maybe the Twins did Delman a favor.
Now for you, a comeback, you're going to Venezuela, you've lost the weight, you want to stand up and show, and there could be a GM watching right now. Look at you. Wow, Dimitri looking good. When was the last time you weighed what you weigh now?
I weigh 260.
Wow.
Yeah.
And health-wise, everything good?
Yeah, got the diabetes under control and got a great doctor.
Look at.
Oh, come on. That's why Evan Longoria win Gold Gloves.
Well, Dimitri, we're going to let the boys take the rest of the inning here. Good luck in your comeback.
Hey, thank you very much. Maybe I'll be a Ray.
Hey, you had a chance once. Maybe at the end of the career. Could have been the beginning of the franchise, now the end of the career.
Yeah, and I won't be over here for 30 minutes either.
All right, guys, back to you.
Well, there's another look at that great play by Evan Longoria to rob Delman Young.
I think Dimitri called it best. That's why Evan Longoria wins Gold Gloves.
2 gone. Well, hey, Todd's breaking another story. Announcing a comeback by Dimitri Young. 1 ball, no strikes. Miguel Cabrera, the DH. This one is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Bosch called out on strikes, and Young victimized by Longoria. 2-0 the count to Cabrera. It's a fly ball into right for Joyce. Matt makes the catch. 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom half of inning 6. 2-1 Detroit. Ford dealers. By Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. And by Subway. Eat fresh. One-run ball game, a great pitching duel here. Justin Verlander and Jeff Neiman hooked up in this one. The Rays have forced Verlander to make a few more pitches in the fourth and fifth. Those 2 innings alone, he's made 45 pitches. He made 44 through the first 3. And there you see the first time through and the second time through the Rays lineup. So Matt Joyce steps in for the 3rd time. Matt has homered and walked. Takes a good cut at a 96-mile-per-hour fastball. Fouls it, strike 1.
Well, continues to ramp up that velocity and tack with the good stuff. And Verlander's one of those guys that he's not one to really get caught up in the pitch count. He's one of those guys that'll throw as many as it takes to finish the job. Kind of a throwback.
Yeah, he's coming off 121 pitches his last time. How about that? Let's just throw a curveball in there. Follows a 96-mile-per-hour fastball with that curve. It's sub 80.
Well, and this is the time through the lineup that you really start to do your damage off him.
Yeah,
at 218.
Upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Breaking ball. He thought he had strike 3 right there, and Verlander's not happy with that call.
No, that was very similar to the one that they punched out Sam Fold on.
It looks like this.
Yeah. Well,
yep. Oxtrack had it as a strike. This pitch down and in, and it's 2-1. Well, the Ed Rapuano has not given that pitch down a couple times, and that's pretty consistent with his version of the strike zone. He'll give you that pitch up and maybe up and away. And a swing and a foul tip strikeout. So Joyce is out on strikes. 7 strikeouts for Verlander.
Well, and that fastball right there, Matt Joyce, full count, he pulls off of it. Look at that front hip kind of go. You see how he little reach there at the end, and sometimes that's what happens to Matt Joyce. He gets a home run, drives the ball really well to right field, and then all of a sudden he starts to get pull conscious, starts to pull off the ball a little bit. That's what he did there with the full count fastball.
Johnny Damon, he takes a strike right there off speed. Damon struck out on a changeup in the first and missed a curveball to go down on strikes. Back in the 3rd. There's a liner and a 1-hopper through the infield toward right center. Damon's going to challenge Bosch, and he's going to make it. A 2-base hit. Johnny Damon hustling his way into a double. Heads up base running.
Well, let's take a look at this. Johnny Damon, it's your checkers double of the game. He was thinking double out of the box. Watch this. As soon as he hits this ball, he's always hustling. But he made his mind up that he was going to go for it. Brendan Bosch has to come over, field this ball. See right here. There's no hesitation whatsoever. Bosch having to cut that ball off, and then he's got to square up and try to make the throw in. It was an awkward play for him. Damon makes it easily.
Well, it's a smart job by Johnny Damon, hustling his way into 2 in this 1-run game. Here's Evan Longoria. And the fastball is upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, Johnny Damon only has 1 gear. I mean, and that is all out all the time. You see him always hustling down the line. He makes routine ground balls, close plays down at first.
Turn nothing doing back at second. You know, the pitch count overall may not mean as much with Verlander on the hill, but a higher number of pitches in a small amount of time really means more than that pitch count spread out over a full game. And the Rays, before that double, they'd had 3 of the 4 hitters go to 3 and 2 on him. And there's a ground ball chopped down to Benameat, and he's going to make the play. So they're doing the best they can to try to push that pitch count in a short period of time and see if that can't give them a break. Every little thing you can do, you've got to try it.
I would agree with that wholeheartedly. The more, the more pitches you can get a guy to throw, you get him to throw, 60, 70 pitches in a 3-inning span. All you need is that one mistake that you capitalize on after a walk, maybe.
Well, he's up to 99 right now. And here is Ben Zobrist, who's hit into a double play and has walked. He pops it up. That's going to go out of play. Foul ball. Strike 1. Ben coming into this game just 2 for 21 against Verlander. So it's been a real battle for Ben against this guy. There are a lot of hitters who can relate to that. And it's fouled. That fastball registered at 99.
Well,
That's pitch number 101.
That's what he does. It's pretty amazing. He started the game off. His first fastball, first pitch of the game to Matt Joyce was 90. And then we saw him hovering around 93, 94. Then he's bumped up 95, 97. And now he just pops at 99, like you said, after 100 pitches have already been thrown.
Swing and a miss. He strikes out Joyce, or strikes out Zobrist. He got him on a breaking pitch. Damon left at second. We're through 6, and it's 2-1 Detroit.
On game, Jeff Neiman before the injury didn't throw as many curveballs, but the percentage has been going up, and Hickey talks about the effectiveness of his curveball.
He's been using it more recently, but that's just because of the success that he's had with it. But part of the reason is his command of his fastball also. If he's throwing low strikes from downhill with his fastball from that big 6'8", 6'9" frame, it makes the curveball extremely, extremely difficult to deal with, and that combination right now is really what's helping him be so good.
Been a fun combination to watch, guys. Back to you.
And we've got a 2-1 game moving into the 7th. Alex Avila has accounted for both Detroit runs with a home run to the opposite field back in the 2nd inning. 1-0 the count to him this time. Neiman got him looking on a fastball in the 4th. And he's behind him here, missed with a curveball. 2 balls, no strikes. Rays coming in have won 5 in a row, 7 straight here at Tropicana Field. And Neiman and Verlander hooked up. He did not go. The Rays wanted the appeal, but Ed Hickok's down at third, says Avila held up.
Well, I'd have liked that on the call. Looked like a pretty good fastball here. Certainly not up.
And there is ball 4. So Neiman gives up the walk to open the 7th inning. Avila heads to first. First walk given up by Neiman tonight. Johnny Peralta. Peralta, 1 of 2. Pitch inside. And that's going to get a visit as Jaso heads to the mound. The breaking ball, and it did not break a lot. Tended to stay up and in. One ball, no strikes. Ground ball to third. Longoria to Zobrist, 1. High throw. Kochman tried to get the tag. Safe the call at first. Kochman went up after that throw and tried to get the tag on Peralta. But Angel Campos said that Peralta had beaten the tag to the bag. So he's aboard on a fielder's choice. Avila forced at second.
The feed here by Longoria, the turn by Zobrist, the throw a little high, and the tag gets laid onto Johnny Peralta just as he's touching the bag. And that's where the call was made, and the point lets you know that Angel was right on it.
Peralta's at first with 1 out. Here's Wilson Bettamy. Pitch is wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Bettamy hit the ball a long way to center field into fourth. That's the ball that B.J. Upton got back there and made the catch. He got turned around on it. Still managed to work his way out of that and make the catch. 1-1 the count. Verlander and Neiman hooked up in this one. David Price pitches tomorrow night against Brad Penny. This is the first of 4 games played between the Rays and the Tigers. The Rays are home through Thursday afternoon. Back in Peralta. It's Price and Penny tomorrow. Wade Davis will pitch Wednesday night. Jeremy Hellickson here on Thursday afternoon. Price will be after his 12th win tomorrow. Detroit 10 over 500. The Rays right now 13 over 500. The pitch a little bit wide right there. 2-1. There have been 2 or 3 breaking balls here in the 7th inning that have not had that authoritative break on them that we've seen earlier.
And Jeff Neiman, when he gets out in front and releases that ball out in front of his face, that's when you see that big top to bottom break. You're right, last couple rollers, release point just a little off.
He misses up and away. So it's now 3-1, the count to Bettamy.
You know, sometimes that happens too when you throw that knuckle curve. That's a tough pitch to throw. You're controlling it with basically just two fingers. Your index finger's off the baseball, or just the tip is on.
And there is ball 4 away. So that pushes Peralta up to second as Bettamy draws the walk. 2 walks on the night issued by Neiman, and both have come in this inning. And you've got to be careful here late. You don't want to give Verlander any more of a cushion. Right now it's 2-1.
Well, experience a Rays game from the all-inclusive Whitney Bank Club, offering extraordinary seating and luxurious lounge and dining areas. The Whitney Bank Club features an upscale full menu buffet and inclusive drink options. Call 888-FAN-RAYS or go to RaysBaseball.com to purchase tickets or just for more information.
A visit to the mound by Jim Hickey before Neiman faces Don Kelly. Kelly's hit the ball on the ground twice tonight. The Rays would love to get another chance to turn a double play. The pitch is a strike. He throws him a fastball around the knees. That gets the count running in Neiman's favor. Strike 1.
Yeah, and he wanted to get him on that pitch. That was a good fastball down, but it had that late little movement. Good for inducing that ground ball.
The turn, nothing doing back at second. And it stays away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a strike as Kelly checked. And again, Ed Hickok's down at third. Says he did not offer. Two balls and a strike. That'll meet at first. Peralta at second. And this one breaks down and in. Taken for ball 3 on the curveball. 3-1. The count full. He missed the 3-1 fastball. A 3-2 count now.
Everybody missed on that. Neiman wanted that ball in. It tails up and away. He missed his spot. Kelly misses on the swing.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Runners are going, and the pitch is popped up. Foul ball. Longoria coming in from third to make the catch. 2 gone. So the Rays do not get the ground ball, but they get the out on the pop foul.
And Neiman got the ball where he wanted it on that pitch. That fastball was in. And it jammed Kelly, an easy little pop up to Longoria. Force a hitter to have to yank his hands in. See that swing there by Kelly, a little bit long.
Here's Ramon Santiago. He had a fly ball to center field in the second inning and bounced out to second in the 5th. Came into the game hitting .251, but he's been on a pretty good little run at the plate lately. They're going to bear down to the number 9 hitter here. This game has been 2-1 since the second. We're in the 7th. Pitch too high, up and away. A ball, no strikes. Even up around 90 pitches now. There's a strike. It's in that part of the zone, up and away to a left-handed hitter that Rapuano will give a pitcher.
And that was another fastball that Neiman wanted in that he left out, up and away.
Swing and a miss, had him out in front on the curve. Now it's 1-2.
See that spike curveball.
Two men on, 2 men out. 1-2 the count. And he tried that curveball again, and he fouls it.
Now, what you like right here is the fact that Jaso, I think, came out to ask Neiman, hey, what do you want to do here? And Neiman wasted no time. You can see he went right to what he wanted to do. Feels pretty confident in the pitch that he's about to make.
So here we go. The 1-2 pitch for the second time. And he got him. He came back and threw him another curveball. Strike 3 call. Tigers lead 2. 7th inning stretch time in the ballpark. It's 2-1 Detroit, with the Rays coming in to hit. Still a 2-1 ball game. Neiman leaving 2 Detroit base runners aboard in the top of the 7th. We go to the home half of the inning. Here's Casey Kochman facing Justin Verlander. And he goes after that first pitch fastball, popping it up. Peralta, the shortstop, handles it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Brandon Inge is in the game at third base, replacing Benamid. So in the late stages of this game. In a one-run contest, Jimmy Leland goes for the defense at third. B.J. Upton. And that's a strike. All of this goes right back to that first at bat.
It does. It goes right back, to the fastball right up around the face, up and in, and then he started him off in the next at bat with a fastball in off the plate.
Chen
continues to make him aware and uncomfortable. You see B.J. Upton being stood up, and then he's standing himself up on pitches that are down and away from him because he's got that fastball in off the plate in the back of his mind.
Well, at this point, Verlander has accomplished what he wanted to do because B.J. was 8 for 15 off him coming into this game. And Verlander trying to do something about that and has accomplished that to this point.
Make him uncomfortable. And you can see he's frustrating B.J. Even after these takes, you can tell B.J. is not having a good time in that box.
B.J. did get time granted by Ed Rapalano as Verlander was set to make that delivery.
Well, if this is a fastball, then count on it being 99.
And he throws him a hook curveball right there on the corner.
Hard in, soft away. You saw that swing in the last at bat. B.J. really reaching off of a slider out in front.
The 2-2, and the fastball is fouled back. That was at 97. B.J. trying to stand his ground in there. Fouled it back.
Now come right back, and he'll drop that slider right off of that fastball away.
And there it is, and he fouled it. He managed to make contact, and I'll tell you, just to foul that pitch away is an accomplishment.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that ball might have been off the plate. I mean, that was in a perfect spot if you're the pitcher. And B.J., the way that we've seen him getting worked in and not really comfortable going out over the plate, did a nice job of spoiling that pitch.
And now the count is full.
Well, this is what happens too when you work a guy the same way the whole game. By the third time through now, B.J., able to foul that one pitch off. Think, okay, he's going to come back with it again. Okay, it's low out of his hand. I'll take it. Giving himself a chance.
3-2 pitch. He swings and lifts a popper on the right side. Santiago in the shallow right center and right there in front of Bosch. He kept going out after that pop-up and made the catch. Take another look at that 3-2 pitch. A slider that caught a pretty good part of the plate.
Yeah, it did.
2 gone. Here's Sam Fuld. There's a strike at the knees. Struck out looking on a breaking ball in the second. Chased the fastball at 97 up his last time. And the count is 1-1. Really? Curveball. Strike.
Best reaction of the game. I mean, what do you do with that? You take it for a strike is what you do.
Exactly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-1 game. The Rays got a run in the first. Detroit 2 in the second. We're in the bottom of the seventh, and it's popped up. Brandon Inge at third, waiting on it, and the Rays are up and down 1-2-3. We head into the eighth. It's 2-1 Detroit.
Part of a walk-off for the Tigers, and the Rays also walked it off in two different styles. That's our Auto-Way text poll question of the day. Both teams won 8-7. Austin Jackson wins it by throwing out Kosuke Fukudome right at home plate right there. Alex Avila with the tag, and the Tigers would win 8-7. Also yesterday afternoon, Johnny Damon with the walk-off home run to win it for the Rays over Seattle 8-7. Text your vote to 789-789. Which of the two walk-offs was more impressive? Standard race and data race and message race reply. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, both teams winning what turned out to be their own version of walk-offs, and both winning 8-7. That was a sweep for the Rays over the Mariners and a sweep by the Tigers over the Indians, and that gave the Tigers a 4.5 game lead in the Central. Now Austin Jackson leads off, and the pitch is a ball up and in a bit. Ball, no strikes.
That was a game yesterday too where the Tigers had a 7-0 lead in the third inning, and the Rays were down early.
1-1. Yeah, it didn't appear that things were working out too well for the Rays early in that game at all.
Hey, bottom line, if you can have a start where Shields gives up 7 earned runs and you win.
Liner into center. That's going to hang up for Upton. BJ makes the catch. One away. And then Bosch will be the hitter. Bosch pops it foul. That's going to be out of play. Strike one. Jake McGee up in the bullpen. It's 1-1. Neiman about to make his 100th pitch of the night. And it's a breaking ball in for a strike. Backdoored that one. 1-2. Joaquin Benoit busy in the bullpen. Two and two. Holds the count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he got him. Or did it hit the ground? Nope, hit the ground. That's not strike 3. Curveball that turns out to be a foul ball. And Rapuano demonstrative, indicating the ball hit the ground.
And it did. Now the key to that too is Jaso didn't protest too much. You figure if he got that thumb underneath the baseball, he was going to protest a little bit more than that.
Line drive, base hit into right field. That came off a breaking pitch. He almost had him struck out before the base hit. That's the first hit given up by Neiman since the double by Delmon Young back in the 3rd. And Delmon Young's going to be the hitter now in the 8th inning. Texas with a 1-0 lead over Boston. Boston batting in the 4th inning. Novus Andrus drove in the run with a base hit for Texas in the 3rd. One on, one out for Delmon Young. Fouls the first pitch, out of play. Juan Cruz joining Jake McGee in the Rays bullpen. Out of play. 0-2. Young out third to first on a very good play in the 6th inning by Evan Longoria. Pitch count running at 106 right now. Verlander is up to 118 through 7. 116 through 7. Pitch is inside. It's 1-2. Verlander, by the way, 8 different times this year has made 120 or more pitches in a game, extending all the way up to 132. Ball, 2 strikes the count to Young. He shoots it into deep right center field. Upton on the run, can't get there. Bounces up against the wall. Joyce plays the carom over to third base. Goes Bosch. Young into second base, and BJ is hurt at the base of the wall in right center field. Young doubles. Upton made a great effort toward right center field, and Ron Porterfield hustles out there.
Good job, Delvin.
Upton racing toward right center field, and it's good to see that he's at least up on his feet. We'll take another look.
Something there as he hit the wall trying to make that catch. Maybe jarred it a little bit, banged that shoulder around.
Joe Madden is out there. You see Ron Porterfield working on his right shoulder. And you could understand, number one, that the way he hit the wall, if he had the breath knocked out of him, number one, because he hit it face first with his chest out, and he's rotating that shoulder now, and that's a good sign right there.
No, he had to run a long way to try to make that catch, so you know he had his speed built up. We're going to try to get a baseball out there to see if he can make a couple of throws.
Well, we're going to walk back toward the dugout and apparently the clubhouse here.
No, that is not good news. He made one throw and shut it down.
Well, he had surgery on his left shoulder about, I guess, 3 years ago. This is his right shoulder. And we'll wait to get an update on this. And we're going to have some changes made here. Brignac is out of the dugout, going to come into the game, and Sam Fold is going to move over to play center field. We're going to get a shift here with Joyce moving in to play left field, so he goes from left or from right to left. So Joyce will be in left field. Fold will be in center. Zobrist will move out to play right field. Sean Rodriguez is going to go over to play second base. And Brignac takes over at shortstop. So the removal of Upton because of that collision with the wall affects 5 different defensive positions in the Rays alignment.
And thank goodness for the versatility of the Rays defenders to be able to make that move. Rodriguez across the infield. Zobrist has to head out to the outfield. Right now the Rays, not only with the B.J. Upton situation, but not good news of what's happening out in the game right now. Second and third, one out. Gonna have to probably pull the infield in.
The hitter's going to be on top of that, Miguel Cabrera. He's hitting .398 with men in scoring position. And the infield will be going to walk him intentionally with first base open. So an intentional walk issued with one out. Alex Avila is due next. The Rays have had the bullpen busy with McGee and Cruz. The Rays will put Cabrera on and then look for a chance to get out of this spot with a double play. So the intentional walk sends Cabrera to first. Avila due, and Joe Madden comes out of the dugout, and he's going to call to the bullpen right here in this bases loaded, one out situation in the 8th inning. pitches and 7 1/3 tonight. He leaves with the bases loaded. Responsible for the men on base. He's been charged with just 2 runs. They came on a home run by Alex Avila. He struck out Avila in the 4th and walked him in the 7th and will not face him in the 8th. That job falls to Jake McGee. You can see the lefty-righty splits there for McGee this year. And he'll be facing Avila, who hit the home run the other way. He uses all the field. And if you take a look at his splits, there's not a lot of advantage one way or the other here.
No, and that is because of that approach, the willingness to hit the ball the other way. That tells you he will stay in, keep that front side in. Jake McGee is really torn up left-handed hitting as compared to right-handed, so this will be a good matchup. The Rays needed to go their way to stay in this ballgame.
Bosch third, Young second, Cabrera first. 1 out. McGee facing Avila for the first time in his career. And he pops it foul. It's going to carry on play. Strike 1. He had a 1-0 pitch, a fastball into the seats and left back in the 2nd inning. He's been red hot in August.
You see that uppercut swing and the ball away from him, show you the power.
Rays with the new pitcher as they've shifted the defense around due to the injury to B.J. Upton. Upton made a great effort on that fly ball off the bat of Delman Young. Wound up in a collision chest first against the wall. One strike to count to Avila. That's a good pitch. Fastball with something on it at 96. 0-2. Singled with 1 out, then the double by Young, the intentional walk to Cabrera. 2 strikes the count to Avila. Oh, pretty close. He got it. Delayed call by Ed Rapuano right there. And Avila is called out on strikes. Well, that looked good, and it took a while for Rapuano to decide. Here's another look.
Now, it looked like it was in the same spot as the previous pitch. Yeah, he took a good look at it and then said, yeah, I think it was.
We'll slow it down on Foxmo. So McGee comes in, gets a big out here on the strikeout of Avila. Pitching change again coming for the Rays. We'll be back in a moment. There, he got him on 3 pitches and threw him a strike at the knees. This is a very good pitch, and you can see it's a strike. We talked about Ed Rapuano early and his execution of the strike zone. He really had to talk himself into that pitch to call him out on a pitch down. He's favors that pitch up a little bit more. That was a strike, and he made the right call.
Yeah, he got it right. It was right across the knees. I mean, right down the middle. Caught all plate. Across the kneecap, and big out.
Now Juan Cruz is on to face Johnny Peralta with the bases loaded. So similar spot here for Cruz. And a ground ball, base hit into left. Here comes Bosch in to score. Young heads to the plate. He will score. 2 runs scored. Runners wind up at second and third. Longoria is thinking of trying to scoop that ball, and it got away from him. So Peralta on the first pitch singles in 2, and that's going to make it a 4-1 game.
Well, that hurts. His ball just stays middle. Peralta hits it hard enough. Nothing the Rays defense in the infield could do. Matt Joyce comes up throwing, and that thought they had a shot at the plate, but Evan Longoria is seeing the play unfold in front of him. Tries to scoop that ball, doesn't work out.
Now here's Hinge with men at second and third. Pitch is down. 1 ball, no strikes. The runs are charged to Neiman, and that's a shame individually as well. But collectively, the Rays are now down by 3. It's 4-1. Down and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Cabrera is now at third. Peralta moved to second on the throw that came in. Seven hits for Detroit, 4 runs. That's a little bit wide. 3-0. Joyce in there to make the catch, and that retires the side. 2-run score for Detroit. Bottom of the 8th coming, 4-1 Detroit. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Justin Verlander will be lifted. He worked 7 innings tonight. Gave the Rays just the 1 run on 3 hits. The home run by Matt Joyce. First hitter he faced. the only run. Meanwhile, Verlander in 116 pitches. He walked 3, struck out 8. Then he gives way to Joaquin Benoit, who struggled early but has been very good lately. In fact, he started to turn things around when the Rays were up in Detroit. So he comes on with a 375 earned run mark. Here's John Jason. First pitch is a strike. Ryan Rayburn now taking over in right field in the place of Brennan Bosch. The Rays with 6 outs left. They're down by 3 runs right now. And it's an 0-2 count to Jason.
Now there was that Vulcan changeup that Benoit throws. Such an effective pitch to go along with a good fastball.
Ball headed to second. Santiago has it. So Jaso's out of there. Second to first to start the 8th. Let's check in with Todd. He'll give us an update on B.J. Upton.
Yeah, just heard from the Rays clubhouse, Dwayne. It's a right shoulder strain on B.J. Upton. And the unusual part is it was before he actually hit the wall. He strains the right shoulder when he's kind of reaching out with the left arm and his right shoulder goes back. He is day-to-day with a right shoulder strain, and there you see it. It happened before it hit the wall. Guys, back to you.
So he left the game at that point. Sean Rodriguez fouling 1, strike 1. Strike here to Sean. And a pop-up. Benoit. Now the first baseman Kelly comes in to make the catch. Benoit was preparing to catch it because there was nobody closing, and finally he saw Kelly.
That pitcher's going to want to get every out he can, even if he has to take it himself.
Benoit, over his last 37 games, has a 189 earned run average after a significant struggle to start the year. Now Matt Joyce. Benoit starts him with a strike. That's a real key for Benoit. If he gets ahead, then he can go to work.
Well, he gets you guessing. You know, he's going to come with the fastball, the changeup, that good dip action. That's how we got ahead of Matt Joyce right there.
1 ball, 1 strike. Texas batting in the bottom of the 5th, leading Boston 1-0. Center for a base hit. 3 hops to Delman Young. May have broken his bat on that looper into left. 3rd time Joyce has been on base tonight with a homer walk and now a single. And Johnny Damon will be the hitter. He's 10 out of 26 with a home run against Benoit. Strike 1. Neiman 1 for 3 against Verlander. And behind in the count here with Benoit.
Yeah, powered a couple fastballs by him. You know what was telling about his lifetime stats off Benoit is Joaquin pretty adept at getting the strikeout. And Johnny Damon in 26 at-bats has only struck out 1 time. Here looking bad, though, on 2 straight heaters.
Put away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Short center. Santiago starts out and makes the catch. Rushes up against Jackson, but held on to the baseball. And the Rays are finished here in the 8th inning. They leave a man. We head into the 9th, and it's 4-1 Detroit. Detroit leading the Rays with Juan Cruz on the hill in relief following Neiman and McGee. Don Kelly leads it off. Kelly nothing of 3 on the night, and the pitch from Cruz is outside, 1-0. Cruz trying to hold Detroit right here and give the Rays their one final shot in the bottom of the 9th. Shot back into deep right field. Zobrist looks up, and that one's going to get out of here. Well, Don Kelly, who was a last-minute insertion into the lineup by Jimmy Leland tonight, has just hit a home run, his 4th of the year, and that will make it 5-1.
Well, Don Kelly, a lot of leverage, lanky, tall. Gets a pitch down here. Look at him just lift it right out of here. Head down. Goes down and gets it. Good extension and gets enough of it.
So now it's a 4-run deficit. Pitch to Santiago is a strike. Ramon Santiago, the second baseman. Cruz gave up the base hit to Peralta, allowing 2 of Neiman's runs to score. Now a home run by Kelly. Ground ball back over Cruz by the bag at second base, and Brignac makes the play.
What a tremendous play there by Reed Brignac on a ball that was not hit that hard. but going up the middle, and you see he ends up backhanding this ball. Still able to get it out in one swift motion. Tell you what, he can handle the level.
Well, that's the point to be made about Reed Brignac and his, to this point, inability to develop the offensive side of his game. He doesn't have to hit home runs and extra base hits to help this team. He can play shortstop every day and help this team, but offensively, he's got to do the things, move runners. He's got to do those fine little things like that. And if he hits 230 or 240, he's going to be a valuable part of this ball club because of that glove.
I mean, he could be, average, adequate.
Yep.
Because I'm going to tell you something. There's not a pitcher on this Rays staff that doesn't want that kind of defense behind him.
Yeah.
Making a tough play and a backhand look easy. A backhand as he's moving towards first base.
1-1. I mean, I understand that hitters want to get hits, but his value first and foremost is as a shortstop. 2 balls and a strike, and then develop the game and forget about trying to hit home runs and hit 280 or 300. You hit 230, 240, 250. Move a runner, put down a bunt, do the things like that, and you play shortstop the way he can play shortstop. He'll play shortstop a long time in the big leagues to help a lot of pitching staffs. There's a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty with a run home. Fly ball, short right center. Zobrist is there, and Ben makes the catch. 2 outs. Good Rayburn up there. He entered the game in right field last inning. Ryan Rayburn will get his first plate appearance of the night. Seattle has a 3-2 lead at Cleveland at the top of the 9th. That would be good news for Detroit. The ground ball and a base hit through the right side by Rayburn. Well, that's 3 hits surrendered by Cruz, and the Tigers have 9 hits on the night. And the batter will be Delman Young. Joe Madden's headed to the mound. He's going to make a pitching change. So with 2 outs, a run home, and a man at first, pitching change coming. We'll be back in a moment. Is part of Auto Nation, the largest automotive retailer in the country, so we can do big things. By Checkers, Feast On, and by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. Back at the Trop, Ninth inning, a runner at first, 2 gone. Brendan Gomes will be the new pitcher for the Rays. Delman Young, the former Ray, at the plate. The pitch from Gomes outside, a ball and no strikes. He's the 4th pitcher of the night employed by the Rays. And the way this rotation has been lately, it's been difficult for the bullpen to get much work. And that would include Gomes. Pitch backhanded by John Jaso. Gomes hasn't pitched since on the 13th. It was in the game against the Yankees in New York. It's 2/3 of an inning in that one. Right-hander into Tulane University, originally from Massachusetts. He makes his home in Houston. 2 balls, no strikes. The count to Young. And that pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1. Rays will have Longoria, Zobrist, and Kochman due up in the bottom of the 9th inning. And a high fly ball back to left. Joyce is there waiting to retire the side. A run on the home run by Kelly. 5-1 Detroit. Longoria is going to lead it off. Jose Valverde, the closer for Detroit, gets the call from the bullpen. Not a safe situation, but he is 37 of 37 nonetheless in that department.
Yeah, and what you hope for if you're a Rays fan is how many times have you seen a closer come in a non-save situation, not be quite as mentally into it, not as sharp, maybe get hit around a little bit, and that's what you're hoping for right here, the 4-run lead. Tall order.
11 Longoria leads it off. He's never had an official at bat against him, nor has been Zobrist, who is on deck. So here we go. Longoria 1 for 3. And the first pitch is up and in as Longoria hits the deck. 1-0. And it always seems that there's something going on when Valverde enters the game.
Well, here it is, running it right up there by the face. Saw Verlander do that with B.J. Upton.
Had a base hit in the first off Verlander. And there's a high fly ball hit deep into left center field all the way to the wall. Young, gone, home run. Evan Longoria hits his 21st home run of the year. A towering drive Valverde knocks him down, and Longoria hits one out on the next pitch. That makes it 5-2.
Well, this is how we start off the at-bat. And this is Evans' answer.
So the Rays get one run back with one swing of the bat. Here's Ben Zobrist. And hits a fly ball toward left center field. Jackson can cover a lot of ground in a short period of time, and he makes the catch for the out.
Yeah, that ball off the bat, you thought, hey, maybe. Forget it with Austin Jackson out there. Two center fielders in this ball game. Well, BJ not in the game right now, but two guys that can go and get it.
Now Casey Kochman. Casey 0 for 3 with a walk lifetime against Valverde. That's off the mitt of Avila. 1 ball, no strikes. Just to underscore the point you made. A non-save situation, not Valverde's favorite time to pitch. In save situations, his earned run average is 0.49. In non-save situations, his earned run average is 6.87. You can't get much more stark than that. There's a line drive and a base hit into center. Kochman is aboard. So 1 out, base hit.
Casey going right back up the middle. Well, you see that a lot with closers. They're just not able to come in non-safe situations, and it's like they don't have those juices going. They just come in, get their work in, and before you know it, you're in a little bit of trouble.
Well, Reed Brignac was in the spot vacated by Upton when the Rays had to make all those changes. He's going to be lifted, and Desmond Jennings will pinch hit for Brignac here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Desmond hitting .320. And the first pitch is a fastball at 94 miles per hour for a strike. So Jennings gets his first look at Valverde. Pitch wide. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Rays with a run and 2 hits in the 9th inning. They made it a 5-2 game. Need another base runner to have a shot. And Desmond was going to bunt. That pitch is a strike. 1-2. Fastball on that corner. Sam Fuld on deck. One on, 1 out. Jennings takes ball 2. Square it. Split that stayed up off the plate in a bit. Verlander worked 7, gave up a run. Benoit 1 scoreless inning, allowed a hit. And now Valverde. Foul back. It's a fastball out over the plate. Valverde was in that game yesterday when the Indians wound up winning at 8-7. double play when Jackson threw out the potential tying run at the plate to end the game. Another 2-2 pitch from Valverde about to be made. Upstairs, and we go full with the count. Well, the Rays get another runner. They get the potential tying run at the plate. Anything could happen then.
That's all you would have asked for when the inning started, down 5-1. Get the tying run to the plate. Opportunity to do just that.
Fastball at 94 got him.
Well, it was elevated. Right down the middle, but elevated. Let's see this ball just get above the bat of Desmond.
So 2 gone. Now Sam Bull trying to work his way aboard. Jumping away. Valverde originally with Arizona. Spent a year with Houston. He had 44 saves in Houston. That was in 08. 09, 25 with Houston. 2 years there. And last year with the Tigers. Topped out at 47 saves in 2007 at Arizona. 37 of 37 this year. 2-0. Longoria homered to start it. Kochman singled with 1 out. He's at first with 2 gone. And starting pitchers still the pitchers of record. Cole takes a strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Well, John Jaso's on deck. He's hoping to get a chance to face Valverde. Sam 1 of 1 lifetime against him. Takes ball 3 high. 3-1. Runs tonight coming on home runs. Matt Joyce hit 1 in the first. Longoria's opened the bottom of the 9th with 1. And there's ball 4. And the Rays are going to get the potential tying run to the plate. Cole draws the walk. That pushes Kochman up to second. 2 men on with 2 men out. John Jaso will be the hitter. And the Tigers are going to talk it over. Jimmy Leland doing a little pacing down there.
It just got interesting. You're 1 swing away now. Got an opportunity after the home run by Longoria, a couple of base runners, and 1 misplaced pitch, and this game can be tied up.
Jaso was recently back active after missing 32 games with the oblique injury. Could get interesting in a hurry with a long one here. J-So, 3 home runs on the year. And the pitch is upstairs.
Well, he's consistently missed up in the zone. Made a lot of pitches. In fact, he ended up striking out Desmond Jennings on a pitch that was elevated out over the plate, but that has been where he's been stuck.
It's 8 strikes of 18 pitches. The count to J-So. And there was a strike. 1-1. Rays get Kyle Farnsworth up in the bullpen. Still waiting on Valverde. And a foul ball back, a fastball, and he fouled it back. He had a couple pitches that were pretty good pitches to hit.
Yeah, and a lot of times you're going to take a strike, so you understand the first one, but this one here right out over the plate, it was almost like J-So trying to swing too hard. And you're almost like trying to hit a home run, ends up being a little bit tardy.
And now it's 1-2. And the pitch to J-So is a ball. Through the split, he got ahead of him. And J-So takes the split down out of the zone. 2-2. And a chopper out to Santiago at second. The throw to first, and the game is over. The Rays get the tying run to the plate, but the ground ball to second ends it, and it's a 5-2 final tonight as Detroit takes the first game of this 4-game series. The Rays have yet to beat this Detroit ball club, dropping this one tonight 5-2. Verlander will get his 19th win, 19-5. Neiman, the losing pitcher.